Hello, everyone. This is Candace, the Preventionista, and this is episode 6 of Mental Health Conversations. You may or may not know that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Mother's Day is also this month. So this month, I want to talk about mental health and motherhood. So to help me discuss this topic, I have mental health mama herself, Emma Frankzak.
Franchak, you almost got it. It's so hard. Everyone gets it wrong.
Hey, Emma, how are you?
Good. I'm so good.
Good. Okay. Can you tell us about yourself? Location, not too specific, but your title and then how long you've been in the field?
Right. Yeah. So I'm out towards Harrisburg. That's central Pennsylvania. And so I'm a mom. I have 2 little ones. Been married for about, we just had our 4-year anniversary. And then, so I've been doing mental health since probably 2014 when I graduated with my master's in counseling. And so since about 2014, and it's been definitely a growing experience. Taught me a lot about myself and about other people.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So, okay, let's get started. When and how did you start your mental health career?
Right. So I guess I would say my first job in mental health was working with children on the autism spectrum, and then also kids that were experiencing behavioral difficulties, kind of working with them to create treatment plans, work with the parents, and try to come up with some strategies that would kind of help support the families in the journey. And so how did I get started? I would say I just kind of had a desire to help people, and I didn't know exactly what that meant. And counseling just seemed to fit.
Right.
So I kind of, after undergrad at Valley Forge, I decided, I was like, I guess I'll go ahead and move forward with counseling. So I kind of dove in from there.
Yeah. I think counseling is always needed. So it's definitely a go-to, profession. Yeah. What made you focus your mental health presence on social media to moms?
Yeah, I think so. I've stopped doing counseling for probably a little over a year now. And when I stopped, I kind of felt like there was something I wanted to do. One, to help me continue to grow, clinically in the mental health world. And then also, I was also a mom. So it's what better combination than mental health and, motherhood, the 2 things that I have, right? And then another part of me wanted to push myself to be more vulnerable. So it's also a personal challenge.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you. Sometimes when I do a post, and if I feel I have to be vulnerable, sometimes later on, it's should I post that?
That's social media for you. Is that too much? Is that too little? Or am I going to be judged?
Yeah. So then just kind of learning to sit in that discomfort. So kind of helped me grow personally as well. And I think that's really my heart, to kind of be a mom that moms know they're not alone. And it's not what it looks like on social media usually all the time.
Right.
Most of people post is that little slice of perfection.
Yeah. And I think that's how you connect with your audience too. You know what I mean? Because people want that real life stuff. So that's good. This may be a silly question, but since you are a therapist focused on motherhood, do you feel motherhood has been easier for you?
Okay, so I talked to my husband about this. We were just talking about this. And he said yes, right off the bat.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I think it did. And so I felt that I think the tools from counseling definitely, helped me in the motherhood journey. I think it's also hard to fully prepare for a journey you haven't been on. So before motherhood, what is it actually going to be like? I don't know. So it's definitely been challenging, but I think the tools have definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good to know. Maybe our listeners will go to school for counseling before they have children.
Yeah.
All right. So you feel like mental health training has helped you, mentally, dealing with motherhood. Okay. So as the Preventionista, I'm all about prevention. So I believe self-love and self-care are crucial in experiencing real personal joy. So being a wife and a mother of 2, and, even caring for yourself, do you have time carved out during the week to recharge or to give yourself some self-care?
Yes. Yeah. That's definitely something I've learned, I think, in motherhood, is that it takes so much energy to like pour into your kids every day, that every day there has to be something, some sort of recharge. So usually, if they're both taking a nap together, I'll take that time for myself. Maybe I'll clean up for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I'm time to shut it off and like pour into yourself, watch TV, read a book, whatever that looks like. So I definitely try to make it a priority every day as much as I can, because I feel like it's essential.
Yeah. And I did see some of your posts where, you know, you're doing that self-care for yourself and also your children, like going for a walk. And that's excellent, you know, getting the oxygen in the brain. So
definitely. And the oxytocin from the sun, like it's all
right? That's so, and it's also a bonding time too. How old are your kids?
So I have a 2.5-year-old and a 1-year-old on Thursday.
Oh wow, so they're close.
Close together. So it's been almost like a nonstop journey, you know, from one baby then another baby. So
yeah. So how's it been since COVID? Everything, you know, is it anything major changes for you, like being mom life?
Yeah, I would say there hasn't been as many activities that we used to go to. They kind of all shut down. So I think I could get a little more creative, trying to connect with our mom friends or get outside. I think getting outside has been really key, just taking a walk or running or whatever that looks like. I feel like that is a huge impact. Or we have family in the area, so going to see family has been a big support.
So, like I said, I love how vulnerable you are on your social media, on Instagram and stuff, and about your motherhood journey. So what advice can you give mothers about struggling with motherhood?
Yeah, so I think in motherhood, sometimes it can feel isolating. You know, you're home with your kids. If you're a stay-at-home mom, or maybe even if you're a working mom now and you're home with your kids, you might feel lonely. You might feel boredom. You might even feel grief over not being able to go back to work and have that time for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, kind of maybe even resentful of the pandemic, or maybe you like being at home. You know, it's different for different people. So I would say one is, you know, you're not alone. If you're struggling, it's okay to get help, maybe see a therapist. Ask for help from family and friends, and also receive it, because sometimes people offer and we, you know, say stay over here. You're like, no, I don't.
I'm okay.
You know, the people you trust, you feel safe with. There's just so many things, and I think also with isolation with the pandemic, it can also be probably more stressful. So looking at the things that are gonna help you manage your stress, and I think. I know for me, like sleep is huge. If I don't get sleep, you know, physicians do, if you're not getting sleep, to be more reactive, sensitive to like sensory input, like lights and noises and things, and it just makes you kind of more reactive with your kiddos. So I think sleep is just really
crucial.
Stress management, and just like getting out to take a walk, or if you can section off a couple minutes. If you're really experiencing your stress, to do some maybe mindfulness, meditation, or deep breathing, like relaxation techniques, or like muscle relaxation is really good. And like there's so much on YouTube, or
I was gonna say
access. And just kind of setting boundaries to have a couple minutes for yourself, even though you might be super busy with your kiddos and everything.
Right. You really have to make a schedule. I think that's the deal. You have to make a schedule.
It's so hard. And then sometimes, you know, I think about like, you know, everything you're responsible for as a mom. And really, if you think about it like a hierarchy, like your care needs to be at the top, because you're caring for everyone. So you have to pour into yourself, pour into others. You have to put the face mask, you know, the plane's going down, the breathing mask on first. Your priority every day, because there's so much, everyone needs you so much, you know.
Right. No, you're so true. Yeah. I know in my past job, I think they had like a 6-week for maternity leave. But I know how hard it was I worked at the hospital, so it was hard for the nurses to come back. You know, they were like, "Can I get a couple more days off?" You know what I mean? Like, this is hard. I know they have that attachment to their child, you know, when you first give birth and they have to go back to work. So, and that's a whole mental piece for in itself.
Yeah, that's hard, 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's not really a lot, you know, time flies when you're trying to get acquainted with your child.
Yeah, it can be hard. Some kids have like nipple confusion where they mix the bottle up with the breast, and some kids have like a tongue tie or like different things that can come up that can make it more challenging.
So do you have any final comments or suggestions regarding mental health and motherhood?
Yeah, I would say it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you can't do everything, so you have to pick and choose what's important. And you know, ultimately, I think, like, you know, you said self-care is so important, and I think just to keep that in the forefront, because it kind of has a positive domino effect on the rest of your relationship with your kids and husband or spouse.
That's a good point. It does have an effect on how you treat others around you. You might lash out if you don't really care for yourself. Makes it harder for yourself. Do you have any projects coming up or working on anything, training or anything exciting going on with the mental health mama?
Yeah. So I just yesterday finished a 3-day training. It was like all day on perinatal mental health. And so what that is.
What is that? Sorry. Okay, you gotta explain.
Yeah. So this is a term I kind of only recently heard of too. What that means is the perinatal period for a woman starts with when she's pregnant up into the postpartum period, the year after pregnancy. And so what that really covered was perinatal mood and anxiety disorders that can affect women during this period. So that includes anxiety, OCD, psychosis, depression, and so kind of treating that. So I'm kind of looking to move in that direction. And right now I'm trying to figure out maybe something I could put in the works to support some mamas in that stage with some of the things I've learned. So I took that course in hopes to get certified. So I'm working on that certification now. Yeah, because it's a very fragile time after you have a baby. There's a lot of hormones, there's added stress, you're trying to navigate new motherhood. It's very challenging, especially in the midst of a pandemic.
Right. No, you're right. And that's so important. So if you do something like that, you will receive a lot of good feedback, and a lot of people reach out to you because a lot of people want to have children, but then when they have children, they're like, whoa, what was I getting myself into, So I think to prepare these women about, welcoming a child is just like, I think that's a prayer of the mind, like a program or just maybe like a group session, just talk about how they feel about, potentially having a child, whether they're single, married, or whatever, So that's an excellent idea.
Yeah. So that's where I feel like my passion's kind of moving in that area. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And another piece I want to mention, so I work for an infertility foundation. So I never knew how much of a need it is. We provide grants to these families, and like there has to be a mental health piece behind that because to have an outlet. So that'd be great, Emma. That's super exciting. So I wish you the best on that. I'll be sure to put your contact and connect with you. And thank you so much for talking with me. Next month, June, I will bring attention to mental health and fatherhood.
Thank you for just the opportunity and invitation to
of course.
be on the Preventionista.